Hi, Yoshio. Let's do this.
Good morning.
Good morning, Yoshio. It's a pleasure to chat with you. Let's get started with your English practice. And remember, I'll stay in English the whole time. Feel free to upload the photo whenever you're ready.
Okay. In this picture, I can see the one young person. He's wearing the black jumper with hood. His facial expression is very sorrowful and have void eyes. I can imagine this location kind of far ordered. Maybe he has a deep regret because his both hand locked by handcuff. It's just after he arrested. Maybe a drug crime, he sells it or buy it. He might fail to deceive the police. I lament his follies. Back of him, there's a very old rusty board. I can read that part of that characters. Most upper character is NO. It must be a no. And following word is I can read ARKI. Must be parking. And next part of character is DIN. Maybe no loading. Anyway, this picture have atmosphere of desperate and deserted.
That's a very vivid description, Yoshio. Now, let's do your English commentary. You've painted quite a detailed picture of the scene, and you've definitely set a tone of someone who seems a bit isolated or troubled. So here are a couple of notes on your English. First, you're doing well with descriptive vocabulary. You've used terms like atmosphere of despair and deserted, which really create a strong image. That's fantastic. Second, just a small correction. You mentioned his facial expression is very lonely, which is absolutely understandable, but a slightly more natural way might be to say something like his facial expression looks very sad or very downcast. But honestly, your description was great. Now that you've described the photo, let's move on to the next part of the lesson, as always entirely in English.
Okay, I move to the another lesson.
Absolutely. Let's dive right into the next lesson. You did a fantastic job with the description, and now we can move on to something new. Perhaps we could focus on a bit of conversational practice or another topic that you'd like to explore. Let me know what you're in the mood for.
I read my collocation word. After that, you repeat my collocation. It's a very important procedure because I can understand you can correct catch my collocation. And after that, you make a suitable English composition, including this collocation.
Absolutely. Let's do that. I'll be listening carefully for your collocation. Once you say it, I'll repeat it back to confirm that I've understood you. Then I'll create a little English composition that uses that collocation naturally. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Pause for a moment.
Got it. Pause for a moment. I heard you loud and clear. Now, let me create a quick sentence using that collocation. Here we go. During our conversation practice, let's pause for a moment to think about how to use the phrase naturally. And there we have it.
At regular intervals.
You said at regular intervals, and that's perfect. Now let me put that into a sentence for you. When you're practicing your English, it's helpful to pause at regular intervals to review what you've learned. Great job, Yoshio.
Keep irregular hours.
You said keep irregular hours, and that's a great phrase. All right, let's use that in a sentence. For someone who keeps irregular hours, it's helpful to find a flexible routine that works for them. Well done.
Urgent business.
You said urgent business, and that's nice and clear. All right, here's a sentence that includes it. Sometimes we have to keep irregular hours because of urgent business that comes up unexpectedly. Great job.
In great haste.
Great, you said in great haste. I've got it. Let me put that into a sentence for you. Sometimes when we have to keep irregular hours, we end up finishing tasks in great haste late at night. Excellent. That was a perfect collocation.
On such occasions.
Absolutely. I heard you say on such occasions. Let's use that now in a sentence. People who keep irregular hours often find themselves working in great haste on such occasions. You're doing fantastic.
The current situation.
You said the current situation. And that's a great phrase to work with. Let me form a sentence for you. On such occasions, when people keep irregular hours, the current situation might require them to handle tasks quickly.
Steady income.
You've said steady income, and that's a great phrase to include. Let me put it into a sentence for you. In the current situation, even those who keep irregular hours may need to find ways to ensure a steady income. Great job.
Annual income.
Sure. You mentioned annual income, and that fits right in. Here's how it sounds in a sentence. Even when people have to keep irregular hours, they still need to ensure their annual income remains stable. Excellent work.
Standard of living.
Got it. You said standards of living, and that's a wonderful phrase to wrap this up. Here's a sentence. In order to maintain their annual income and uphold certain standards of living, some people may choose to keep irregular hours. Fantastic job. You've put all the pieces together.
Thank you for today's morning lessons. I'd like to see you next morning again.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed our lesson this morning. I'll be here ready to try again tomorrow morning. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're very welcome. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.